in the night. I'm gonna give it to you. Come and get my love delight. Oh, something's got me so delighted, baby. I see your face in everything I do. You got me shook up, shook